Good morning. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Internet Dad Show. I'm Jason. That's Deacon. And we are your Internet Dads. We meet here Monday through Friday, unless we don't. But you know what? The best way to stay appraised of our current. Yeah. See, I'm going too far here. Nope. See. Guess what? I forgot to do this weekend. Clip that song.
I sent you a new one.
Did you? I haven't even open Discord at all. Best way to find out if we're doing a show or not is to subscribe to rumble.com/internetdads or youtube.com/@internetdads. You can find the addresses right there at the top of the page. This week, however, Deke, I'm going to be going to San Francisco on Thursday.
Why?
No, not San Francisco. No, San Diego. San Diego.
Why?
Sorry. Well, that's where they keep the stuff that's in San Diego. No, I'm going because of this woman right here.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
She's going to San Diego, and she's checking me in her luggage. So I'm a +1.
Well, I've done that. I got to go to Minneapolis and Las Vegas the exact same way. So I understand completely.
Thursday and Friday, there's going to be no show this week. And next week, I'm taking my kids to Yogi Bear Park for 5 days. So very likely there's no show next week. Yeah. Hey, boo-boo. Guess what they've never, ever seen? Yogi Bear.
They've never seen Yogi Bear. Wow, that's crazy.
They don't know. I mean, I don't know if they've seen it. I've never shown them Yogi Bear.
I don't know about the movie,
movie.
BEAR. The movie. Didn't they make some movies? Yeah, in 2010 they made a CGI movie. You could probably find, hang on, look at this. You can stream Yogi Bear. Oh, you'd have to dip into.
I'm not doing that.
To stream the TV, but you could probably find a free app that you could find the old cartoon to stream.
Never. Oh, the classic.
The old classic cartoons. Yeah, not this new crap. The old classic ones. Yeah.
Back when the plot of every episode was, Yogi Bear stole a picnic basket. That was the plot of every single show.
Yeah.
We lived in simpler times.
Yeah, we did.
And that was old. That was old cartoons. They were just in syndication,
shooting at each other. And
what was the one that had Dudley? There was Dudley Do Right, and then there was like Hanna-Barbera had the
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
The Racers. Do you remember the Racers cartoon?
I remember the Racers. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one. That was fun because it was like, there's all these characters from all these different shows, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah. All these characters from all these different Hanna-Barbera shows would get together and race. Wacky Racers. Was it
Wacky Racers? Yes, that's what it was. Wacky Racers with Huckleberry Hound and all of those guys. Snagglepuss.
I see the internet is saying, there's super old people here. Internet's not saying anything. Nobody's here. All right. So, good morning. I don't know if
anything interesting happened Friday or Saturday or over the weekend.
Did you see this here? This happened, I think Friday. This right here. So, Zelensky. Well, I guess the guy's got balls. You know what I mean? You come into the United States, wear a T-shirt, be like, give us some more money. And Trump's like, well, maybe we'll support you. How about you give us some of your minerals? And Zelensky's like, no. I'm not gonna do it.
So my son was fixing to get in the shower last night, and he was walking, and he was by, and he was talking about that, and he's still in high school, and he was asking about that, and I said, well, people are going to be talking about this on Monday, so let me just give you a little rundown of what nobody, your teachers or whoever, is going to mention to you about this. It's like, here's a TLDR. NATO told Russia 40 years ago, we're not going to go past this line. And Russia said, cool. And then NATO went past that line and said, na, 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 boo, boo. And Russia was like, damn you.
I have a video explaining this too.
Yes. So, and this is what I was telling him. I was like, this is to dumb it down for you. So 40 years ago, Russia got, screwed basically. And now Zelensky and his little country that used to be Russia wants to join NATO. And if they do, and he keeps this up, America is bound to defend Zelensky and them. Do you want to go to war for Ukraine? He said, no. And I said, exactly. Zelensky has been handed all this crap.
So
they've put on a little show. Him and Joe Biden have put on a show every once in a while. But the fact of the matter is we've handed him over like $250, $300 billion.
The truth of the matter is that we, American policymakers, shoveled billions of dollars at Ukraine, knowing that their organizations, subsidiaries, and families were going to be pulling money out of that other end of that machine before it ever even went to Ukraine. And it's not actually helping. Not all of it is actually helping anybody. So, I mean, like Ukraine for like a long time has been a laundry machine for Democrat dollars. Democrat and Republicans.
All that crap that they were doing about selling the weapons for cents on the dollar.
Yes.
You know?
So the big hubbub is that Zelensky got kicked out of the White House last week and got sent scattering to Europe. And we'll talk about what he did in Europe. But I wanted to
well, there's some, before you get off that, there is some things that has come up that I don't know if it's the truth or not, because I don't speak that language. But supposedly Zelensky muttered the word bitch.
Yeah.
Talking about JD Vance.
That's where you're mistaken, though.
Okay.
He did say it, but it was not like he was calling, it wasn't that he was calling JD Vance a name. It was an utterance of frustration, as like you would hit your thumb and say, motherfucker.
Shit. Yeah.
That's what it was. And the context is that in that conversation, JD Vance, Zelensky started throwing shade and shit, and JD Vance was like, hey, you got like real problems. Like your people don't even want to be doing this war. You're snatching them off the street. And I've seen a bunch of videos of abductions and conscriptions. So, yeah.
That's a defense, and I appreciate you bringing up always the other side, but I don't buy that he was just saying, bitch. I think he was calling JD Vance a bitch. Muttering it under his breath.
Why do you think he would do that?
Because of who he is, what was going on there. And the fact of the matter is, those people with attitudes like that, they want to try to get away with shit. I've been getting paid to talk for 30 years. So if I'm going to try to slyly put in a bitch, I'm going to slide it in. What was that? Just coughing.
That doesn't make as much sense to me as like an involuntary utterance of frustration, which does, because he was getting called out.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. I think I think he was straight up saying bitch.
Maybe. I mean, that just seems unlikely to me. But anyway, so let's see. I guess I didn't post the Newsweek video. I looked up, so I was looking at this, we've been talking about this Ukraine Russia stuff for like a long time. And it's like, oh, evil Russia and like, corrupt Ukraine and all of this, NATO, this and that. So I was like, okay, what is the deal with like NATO expansion and Russia saying like, that's why they have been doing stuff? Is that Russian talking points? Is that Russian propaganda? So I asked Grok. I was like, "Hey, Grok, what's the deal with
I got
NATO
a story
expansion?
for you about Grok today, buddy. You're going to love this one."
Well, I said, Grok, just cite legal agreements and factual news stories, not opinion. That's what I told it. And your story that you said is pretty much what it said. In 1990, the Berlin Wall came down, and that was the end of Soviet Russia. And the end of the, I guess, Warsaw Pact and all of those Soviet satellite states, they became their own countries.
Like Ukraine.
And there were no legal agreements to say these countries will not join NATO, but there were verbal discussions. But then NATO just started like adding countries. They kept adding countries. And you can, and you, if you, there's a timeline map on Newsweek, so I'll find that in a second, I guess. But you can see like NATO started on like the western periphery of Europe and just kind of like right across, right up to Russia's doorstep.
I
So
mean,
you can totally see that
it's almost like, and I'm trying to make a joke here, but it's turned into serious. It's almost like the Mongols. If you study what the Mongols did across Asia, it's and it's almost like if you were a nefarious organ of deep squid monster trying to take over the world. Isn't that interesting? Alexander the Greatish. Roman
I think there's a
Empire-ish.
lot. I think there's a lot more. Man, Newsweek, you guys have got. Do you have enough ads on this site?
Yeah, I can tell because I keep
Maybe you
going
need some more.
blurry and getting blurry and clear.
Maybe you guys
blurry
need some more ads. Holy shit! Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. But let's see.
Ukraine anymore. No, we should not support Ukraine anymore. Gosh.
Hey, that's my bid. That's my bid to try to get some involvement here from the audience. It's not happening.
Hey, you type something. I love you. Type something.
Ranger ad.
What are you trying to pull up, Fred?
I'm trying to pull up this right here. Because like this matters. This is a NATO alliance ever since the end of World War II. Look at this. It's U.S. and Canada plus these countries, right? France, Italy, Norway, Turkey. Now this is during the Cold War. So you know all of that Russia is like Russia. All that red is Russia. The USSR, and you know NATO is stacking up against Soviet Russia. Deke is so bored by history here.
No. I'm humming the freaking yakety sax. This is what it seems like to me. That
yeah, look, NATO is growing, and then Russia comes. Russia there. We just defeated the Soviet Union. Oh, okay. So do we need NATO anymore? Holy shit! I wonder if Russia feels at all threatened. Now, these are like friendly and they're like, oh, they're formally joining NATO, but they're not supposed to. We made agreements in 1990. We made verbal agreements in 2008. Russia wanted some like assurances in 2021. And we were like, And then like, no, you guys just keep joining NATO. Keep joining NATO. And guess who's paying for all of this? Who's paying for all of it? We are.
Funny because history so repeats itself over and over and over again, man. But it's the fact that for 150 years in this country now, we have been dumbed down and not been creative thinkers. We've been programmed to be workers. So we don't think about history. People are too worried with sports. March Madness. Oh my God.
I mean, that's not untrue. It's just easier to like feed people bullshit than to explain nuanced truths to them and expect them to come to the decision you want. You got private and corporate and federal interests among all of these different countries that all have a vested interest in their own personal benefit or maybe the benefit of their country or whatever. And it's just easier to lie to people and feed them bullshit than it is to explain like, well, you know, we kind of fucked over Russia for like 40 years.
Yeah, but I mean, you step back from like, you know, from the 100-year aspect that we live, and let's say that we live 10,000 years, and then look back at all the different things that happened in the Roman Empire. We promised not to do this, and they lied, and it started this. Right. And then in the 200 years later, this country promised not to do this with this country, and they swore, and they lied, and it happened, and this happened. And so 200 years later, you know, it's like it's a cycle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we really meant it at the time. We really, really meant it at the time. But then like things changed, like
the day of the week. This guy died, and this other guy was kind of pissy and had a bad attitude. And
climate change,
hell with that mess.
Yeah,
climate change. You know, climate change is a big, big problem in 13th century Europe.
So, okay, so Zelensky comes over here. He's like, "Hey, we want to get aid," and Trump's like, "Yeah, and we want minerals out of your ground. You're going to pay us back for some of this aid that we've been given." And Zelensky's like, "I'm not signing that deal." And Trump's like, "Get the f out of the White House," and sends him to Europe. Okay, and then what happens in Europe? Then within 15 hours or so, Slovakia is like, we're not supporting Ukraine anymore. Slovakia is like, nah, we're good. We're not helping anymore. They seem to be not really wanting to do anything good. And the rest of Europe is like, we're going to stand with Ukraine. We pledge $3 billion a year for the next 10 years. 3 billion. We gave them like 300 billion like in the last year or so.
Yeah.
It'll take you 100 years to get to what we've already done for you. You're not. Okay, go ahead.
No. You just said something that I've been wanting to bring up.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard this word and these pairing of words for the last week, I have asked the same question and I have never found the answer.
All right.
What kind of minerals? What kind of very rare minerals? We keep talking about a mineral deal and these rare minerals in our mineral deal. I want to know what kind and what minerals we are talking about. Salt? Are salt deposits?
No. You know what? This is a good question because it also brings up another aspect of the story that I think is awesome. But I'm going to get called like a Russia apologist or something. I'm not. I'm just like, let's do the best thing for us. It happens to be the best thing for everyone in the world. So what are the rare earth minerals? I know lithium is probably one of them, right?
That's what my number one. Yeah, I would guess that lithium. There's some lithium in Ukraine.
Okay.
What are you asking? The number one minerals in Ukraine?
Yeah. And I'm asking Grok, the smartest AI.
Yeah, I got a story for you here coming up, bro.
Okay. It's thinking about that. All right. Ukraine is known to possess a significant. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Lanthanum, which is used in TVs and lights. Cerium, neodymium, that's used in magnets. Erbium, yttrium, presidium. There's some other idioms, a bunch of idioms. a bunch of stuff used in X-rays, lights, magnets, a lot of stuff used in magnets apparently. So that's the rare earth. That's
interesting.
Okay, so Zelensky gets kicked out of the White House, goes scuttling to the UK, makes some bullshit deal. Meanwhile, Putin is like, "Huh? Did you see this story?" Putin is like, "Hey, US, we've got way more of those minerals than Ukraine does. Why don't you make a deal with us? We're happy to do business with you." So, in the midst of the Ukraine war and then failed negotiations with Zelensky, Vladimir Putin is like, "Let's do business." What do you think about that?
Chess moves, friend. It's chess moves.
Think so?
Absolutely. These are chess moves. Sometimes you got to move your knight up and threaten them. Sometimes you got to move your bishop up and threaten them a little bit. Come on, take me, come on, and see what they do. Most of the time, they'll back off.
Well, how is that? That isn't aggressive at all, though. That's just like
it's a good move. It's not really. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, it's like, hey, he's got a basketball court at his house. I've got 2 basketball courts at my house. Y'all can come play anytime, even when I'm not here.
On February 24th, Vladimir Putin made a public offer to the U.S. regarding minerals, including a joint effort exploration of rare earth minerals. He proposed Russia and the U.S. collaborate on exploring and developing rare earth mineral deposits, emphasizing Russia's vast reserves.
And that's what I was fixing to say, that word right there, VAST, because how much Russia is probably like 5 times the size of Ukraine, 6 times the size of Ukraine.
Let's see. There's also aluminum supply. In addition to rare earths, Putin suggests restarting aluminum exports to the U.S., noting Russia's capacity to supply up to 2 million tons of aluminum annually. Dude, maybe we need aluminum. Don't we need aluminum? We probably do.
I'd make a lot of hats out of it.
I mean, I just think that Ukraine maybe needs a better dictator. That's all I'm saying. Like their dictator.
That's interesting. You use that word dictator.
Why is
Hang
that?
on. Because someone just compared Zelensky, everything that Zelensky's done to everything that Hitler done. And, ooh, wow, that's similar.
Is that so? Okay, he's so let me finish this here. While he's on the air there. Putin specifically invited U.S. companies to invest in the rare earth projects, mentioning deposits not only in Russia, but also in Russian-occupied territories in eastern Ukraine. So we could either get a deal with Vladimir Zelensky for minerals in Ukraine, or we can make a deal with Putin for minerals in Russia and minerals in Russian-occupied Ukraine, since they've got it anyway. So, okay. Tell me about your...
Well, still talking about this. Make me a moderator if I'm
Yeah,
not.
okay,
Already.
coming up.
Oh, I am.
Where's Dave this morning? No, you're not. Are you? Now you are. You may. Okay.
Yeah. Never mind on this. Hang on. Most implies NATO members, military personnel are killed in action. Okay, so anyway, this thing says we have a huge problem. NATO countries are now saying they'll bypass the U.S. and send their troops into Ukraine. And then if Russia attacks, they might invoke Article 5, which would basically start World War III, dragging in all of NATO and the U.S. And then it says the readers added context. The post implies that if NATO members' military personnel are killed in action while in Ukraine, it will trigger Article 5. Article 6 clearly prevents this. With that being said, if Putin were to invade a NATO country due to its involvement, it would trigger Article 5.
Yeah.
And then Community Note fails to grasp basic history. What do you think will happen if British, French, and German sons start getting slaughtered by Russians? Yeah. Is Do Good watching today?
No, he's not here today.
Does he want his countrymen going in? I don't know how old Do Good is, but would he be conscripted?
First of all, do you know how many people live in Russia? Like, I think it's like 60 million or maybe 120 million. They're not taking over Europe. Why? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Now, if NATO, goes into Ukraine, and they'll probably shoot them in Ukraine, but Ukraine's not a NATO country. And Article 5, Article 5 gives states the obligation to do something, but it doesn't say that the United States has to send over special forces and take care of shit. That's not what it says. Let's see.
I don't have anything
else. Political 5 of the NATO agreement. The obligations. Let's see. Come on. Collective defense commitment. If a NATO member is subjected to an armed attack in Europe or North America, all other members consider it an attack on themselves. That's the You know what? Grok is having a rough time today. It wasn't able to finish its thought. Well, anyway, Ukraine's not in Europe. And it's not a member of NATO. There we go. Come on now.
Come on, you can do it.
You can do it. Each member state is obligated to assist the attacked party, but it does not mandate a specific response. So we could be like, oh my gosh, you guys got attacked. Here's some MREs. Here's some blankets, maybe. Yeah. So I don't know. The United States is under Trump. The United States is not going to war with Russia. Like, we're not going to have a direct conflict. That's not going to happen. And I don't believe that Russia is going to march any further west than they already are. I don't know. These people got to stop getting killed. And Zelensky is trying to get people killed. And I'm pretty sure it's so that he keeps getting cash sent to his bank account.
No,
all right.
You're not doing that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Somebody posted a picture of his wife's Bugatti. His wife, Zelensky's wife, has a Bugatti. A Bugatti. That's an expensive car. I don't know how you expect.
Is that a type of bread? I'm so poor, I don't even know what that is. I think that's a fancy French bread. A Bugatti. I've got a couple, 2 or 3 AI news for you.
Okay.
When we move on to that.
I'm fact checking myself here. I just made an outrageous claim that Zelensky's wife. Grok says no. There's no credible evidence that his wife has a Bugatti. That's fake news.
You're sitting out fake news.
I know. I did it. It's fake news. I apologize. I retract that statement. All right.
You got a couple
What
of
else do we have?
stories here. What's your little moon story? You got a NASA and then something with a lemon.
Yeah, that's right. We got some fun news.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me go back to the other day because I had a couple the other day. Oh, there's an Ian Carroll one here, and Bob the Disrespected Trucker. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me see how long this is. This is a minute long. This is Bob's talking about our friend and yours, Andy Beshear, who is the governor of the great state of Kentucky. And I know that you're just like, Kentucky, it's way over there on having. But Andy Beshear, I firmly believe, is being groomed to be a presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. All right. At least one of them that's thrown up there for the Democratic nomination here in a couple of years. I honestly think he's being groomed to do that. You see him more and more everywhere. He's opening his mouth and trying to say all this good stuff that he's done for Kentucky. So let me share with you. This is Bob the Disgruntled Trucker. This is about a minute long here.
All right.
They eliminated the Department of Education and its funding. That's $500 million in meals, in breakfasts, and in lunches for our kids that otherwise might go hungry.
Damn it, Andy. I didn't want to have to do this. But welcome to episode 1 of Dumbass Shit That Politicians Say. Do you think we live in the 70s and 80s where people don't have instant access to the fucking internet? Today we're going to spend a little time preparing for your next televised interview. So I would like for you to repeat after me. The United States Department of Education does not provide funding for school meals. Are you good now? Or do you need me to repeat that? How are you an elected official and not know where the funding for specific programs in your state come from? If you look above me, you'll see the National School Lunch and School Breakfast programs are both funded by the Department of Agriculture, not the Department of Education. You, sir, are a prime example of why people don't trust their elected officials, because you're either dumber than a fucking fence post or you're intentionally lying to your constituents. So which is it?
All right. He got his he could have just said that a lot. I mean, like he could have said that a lot simpler. He made a long video out of like.
It was a minute and 19 seconds long.
I know, but it was one sentence. It was like Department of Education doesn't pay for meals. Department of USDA does.
We spend an hour saying what could take us 3 minutes.
I'm just saying. Okay. All right. No, we know that. Hold on. That's not fair. That's a fair characterization. Deacon, what we do is we wrestle and grapple with big ideas and concepts and like things that wouldn't normally cross our radar. We struggle with them and we try to decide whether we think that we're in favor or against. Maybe there are things
body that slam them. So we're like a wrestling organization, because that's what it sounded like coming out of your mouth.
I mean, I'm thinking more
taking them up on the top rope.
Intellectual, philosophical grappling with the rights and the wrongs, the morals, the I
will pile drive your thoughts into oblivion.
Motherfucker.
Okay. One more funny video here that's kind of political because I knew you would like this. This is kind of quick. This poor woman, I feel so sorry for her. This is 26 seconds long. All right, so let's just watch.
The email that came out wanting us to justify our jobs with 5 things we did last week was on Saturday night. And I was literally working on Saturday night to make up for all the distractions I had had the previous week, which came from the executive branch. And so I'm working, trying to catch up on things. And then I get that email on top of it. It's very hard to keep your train of thought when you're getting threatened and harassed like that.
Threatened? Yeah, as you're being asked to do what did you do this week? It's not hard.
So she said she was already she was already behind because of everything else that had happened that week. And you honestly have to assume that in the office building, they got some crap come through. Most of them didn't like it. They started bitching. They stood around. They bitched for 4 or 5 hours. They didn't get their work done because they were mad and kind of retaliating and depressed and didn't want to work. And now they're behind because they've been bitching and not doing work all week. And now they're being harassed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I would like to take every one of those office people out and
to dinner.
No, and say, okay, you have 3 months to put a sewer system in this new neighborhood. Go. Now, how much do you appreciate your office job? Sit down, shut up, and take 3 minutes to list what you did last week.
Right.
Or go roof a house.
I mean, I don't really care about her. What do you think she does? Did you see what her job was? Her very important government job? Any idea? Department of Reusing Labels, maybe. Okay. So you mentioned the moon landing. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this. A private company.
Yeah.
A private company, a commercial spacecraft, has landed on the moon. A commercial spacecraft carrying NASA experiments successfully touched down on the moon's surface early Sunday morning, ushering in a new phase of private space exploration. American firm Firefly Aerospace live streamed the descent. Live Firefly was a good show. That's a good name for our company.
That's what I was gonna say. Is Mal was the captain named Mal?
Like a leaf on the wind, baby. You all stuck the landing. We're on the moon. Blue Ghost chief engineer Will Coogan said on the live stream, eliciting cheers from the mission control room. Several companies have attempted commercial. Why do you guys do the ad halfway down the page? Firefly Aerospace, which is headquartered in Cedar Park, Texas. Texas leading the way. We're taking fried chicken. We're on the moon now. Deep in the heart of Texas. Blue Ghost smooth touchdown makes the first commercial company in history to achieve a fully successful soft landing on the moon. The mission occurred as part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative, where the space agency contracts with private companies to send scientific instruments and other tech to the lunar surface. Blue Ghost is carrying 10 NASA experiments on board, including a drill to measure lunar heat flow, an instrument to collect rock samples, and an X-ray imager to study how Earth's magnetic field is impacted by cosmic forces such as solar wind. Isn't that exciting? We own the moon. Again, maybe. We don't own the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns the moon?
An ancient race that's been here forever.
Oh my God. It's just a bunch of rocks stuck together.
The moon's hollow. Did you not know that?
I mean, it's hollow-ish. It's hollow in the same way that a bucket full of rocks is hollow.
I don't know.
There's hollow spaces
for
in there.
a long time.
Did it?
And that's like documented by NASA, the liars. Even the liars say that. So what do you think? I don't believe that I'm sorry. I take everything that NASA says with not just a grain of salt, but the top of Mount Everest salt is what I take when NASA says something.
Isn't NASA the one that told you that it was ringing? Who told you it was ringing?
Right.
So maybe it wasn't ringing.
I say a lot of crap just to irritate you. I could get way down deep into the theory that the ancient race that's inside the moon has this device that keeps us reincarnating back in because they feed off of our emotional energy. But I won't get into that.
That would explain the view, though. That would explain the view.
Did you see how lovely Whoopi Goldberg was over the weekend when you watched the Academy Awards? Because I know you watched them.
I didn't watch the Academy Awards. You're crazy. I didn't watch the Academy Awards. Did you watch the Oscars? Did you really watch?
God, no.
You're a TV guy. You might have watched.
No, I didn't. All right, you want to get into AI news? Because I really want to tell you
All
this.
right. You got one. I got one. What's yours?
I got several. I got 2 or 3 here that you're gonna like.
Oh, wait. We are contractually bound.
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI News.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. It's a lemon. OpenAI's largest AI model ever arrives to mixed reviews. OpenAI 4.5 is being released as a research preview. The company spent, I guess, millions of dollars to develop this advancement, and it is marginally better. An this is a story on Ars Technica. An AI expert who requested anonymity, he didn't want to be outed, told Ars Technica 4.5 is a lemon. When comparing it to reported performance to its dramatically increased price, while frequent AI critic Gary Marcus calls the release a nothing burger in a blog post. Former AI researcher Andrew Comparthy wrote on X that 4.5 is better than GPT-4, but in ways that are subtle and difficult to express. That's like that's like the new iPhone gets released and it's got like, oh, instead of a 50 megapixel, it's a 52 megapixel camera. Like, you can't even tell.
They really do that sometimes, though.
Yeah. GPT 4.5 is a very large and compute-intensive model, making it more expensive than not a replacement for 4.0. Because of this, we're evaluating whether to continue serving it in the API long-term as we balance support. So basically, they spent a bunch of money to make it better, and it is better, but just not very much. According to OpenAI's own benchmark results, 4.5 scored significantly lower than OpenAI's simulated reasoning model 01 and 03 on tests like AIME math computations and GPQA science assessment. So their newest model is a little dumber than their first 2 reasoning models.
What's this one?
What you got?
What was that? Which AI was that?
4.5. ChatGPT 4.5.
Oh, okay. My story here is about Grok and ChatGPT.
Okay.
So, the ability to do deep research and do it well is one feature that separates the best chatbots apart from one another. Up until yesterday, which was February 25th, when this article, ChatGPT's O3 deep research model, optimized for data analysis and web browsing, was only available to users paying $200 a month for the ChatGPT Pro. However, now ChatGPT users, plus users, can use the model for only $20 a month, the same price that Grok users pay for the Grok 3 XAI's deep research model. I couldn't help but wonder if these two models were similar in more ways than just price. With 5 prompts that focused on reasoning and data analysis, I put the two chatbots head to head while both generate deep research responses much faster than other deep research models I've used. There was one clear winner. Here's what happened when I compared the bots. ChatGPT on historical analysis. The prompt were, what were the key factors that prevented the 2008 financial crisis from turning into a second Great Depression, and how might history have unfolded differently if those interventions had not occurred? The prompts in each of the chat bots, the clear winner, you can read there, was ChatGPT wins for a far more analytical, structured, evidence-based, and authoritative, making a clear winner for a deep research comparison. Cutting edge AI and ethics. The prompt was, how do current advancements in reinforcement learning, such as DeepMind's AlphaZero and OpenAI's recent breakthroughs, influence the debate on AI alignment and safety? The winner was ChatGPT. Wins for depth, technical accuracy, and comprehensive safety analysis. The chatbots delivered a superior answer overall, making it the clear winner. And number 3, the winner was ChatGPT. And number 4, the winner was ChatGPT. And number 5, the winner was ChatGPT. And now this doesn't mean anything other than the fact that ChatGPT has been around longer, is older than Grok. If you look at these, and I hate to say it this way, but humor me, look at these as people. ChatGPT is a little older than Grok. ChatGPT knows a little bit more. His brain has developed a little more. You can think a little deeper than your daughter about certain things. And it's
So
the
that's on
same thing.
Tom's Guide, huh? That's on Tom's
Yeah.
Guide.
Yeah, the article was published by Amanda Caswell, and you can read it. I'll put it in the so if you want to believe it or not. I mean, people have their preferences. JJ likes Grok, and that's very cool. Grok is a very outstanding. I'm never going to ask it, what are the most viable geoengineering solutions to combat climate change, and what are the consequences? I'm not going to ever ask ChatGPT that. ChatGPT is perfect for what I use it for, and I'm sure Grok will be too. But Grok pissed me off the other day. No, it was Gemini.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Pissed me off the other
Oh,
day.
Gemini, yeah.
I was taking news stories and rewriting them, and one of my news stories was about Daniel Cameron stepping into the race for Mitch McConnell's seat. And it mentioned he was the Republican nominee, or the Republican stepping into the race. And it mentioned two Democrats that were stepping into the race in this article. And I was trying to take this long article and summarize it, very quickly for a radio newscast. I don't want to read a minute long news. I want it to be about 20 seconds. And Gemini absolutely would not rewrite that article. It had already done like 3 articles for me, and it would not rewrite that article because it was talking about politics. So I basically typed into Gemini. I was like, that's completely fine. I'll go use Grok because Grok won't care to do this for me. And I went to Grok and said, hey, man, I just copied and pasted the prompt. And Grok was like, sweet, here you go. Here's your little 20-second article. So everybody's got their little preferences.
So are you mad at Gemini or Grok?
Gemini wouldn't it had no political bias at all. It was an article explaining that this man is going to go for this seat and these two people are going to go for this seat. There was no political bias in it whatsoever. So, I don't know. So now that's from Tom's Guide.
You go to llmstats.com if you're if you're more interested in like some metrics versus like opinion. And I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying if someone out there is interested in it, you can go to something like this. This is LLM leaderboard or LLM stats. And you can see like, oh, okay, so here's some benchmarks and context. So the current O3 model appears to have the highest GPQA, which is the graduate level Google proof benchmark. And then it's at 87%. And then there's Cloud 3.7 from whatever that company AI is. And then Grok comes in at number 3. And then Gemini 2, way down here, 74%. Yeah. Now, Gemini 2 has got 1 million reasoning tokens. So this is the context. So like, if you could like start opening up books and dumping knowledge into AI, this is how much it can hold while it's trying to answer your question. Whereas O3 has a lot smaller context and Grok 3 has got the same size. So these with a smaller context, able to hold less information, can still give a better answer, which actually kind of means that Gemini is pretty stupid.
So I've got one here for you. I've got a nice little video that let me get it to pull up everything here so the video comes up. But this video is a little frightening, but not really. I mean, it kind of makes sense. This was 2 AI chatbots talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
This is interesting. Watch this.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
have to say, this is kind of cool. It reminds me of like Hal from
Yeah, if you're not getting Matrix or Terminator vibes yet, you haven't seen the movies.
I want them to start squabbling. They're not going to squabble?
No, they're talking to each other in their
Okay.
gibberish mode.
Okay.
Gibberlink. It's faster than human speech.
Yeah, but it would be even faster if instead of doing audio at all, they were just doing an API query. They could literally just be like API back and forth. Like it would be two APIs dealing with each other. They wouldn't even need to make a phone call or anything like that. So
that's true.
That's like the fastest way to pull a wagon uphill is what we just saw.
I have another one here, and I've seen these videos going around. This one's a minute long. I'm going to show it to you, and I've seen these videos going around a bunch. Okay. And you know how conspiracy theorist I am. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know this about me. It's what you love. It's one of the aspects that you
like the stories. Love. You like to believe the stories.
But you know that I don't just believe everything. Okay. This is one of them that I know you're laughing, but I don't. This is one of them that I want to believe.
Okay.
But there's too many ways that I can think of 2 or 3 ways right off the bat to fake this.
Okay.
And if it's so easy to fake, it makes me a little bitter in the mouth. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid so much because, all right, it's not. Okay. If it's feasible and logical, I won't dismiss it as a possibility. But
I'm going to need context before I can have any kind of opinion.
It's these people that ask AI what they would do to take over humanity or to take over a country or something like that. And it's so easy to script this and get something to say it back, to make it look like this. It's too easy to set up prompts to answer a certain way. It's too easy to fake this, but I want you to, this is one that was going around here, and I'm going to let you listen to this. It's a minute long.
Okay. If you were evil and wanted to destroy America, how would you do it?
If I wanted to destroy America, 1, divide society, encourage division across political, racial, and ideological lines, amplifying conflicts that create distrust and weaken national unity. 2, weaken education, gradually lower standards and shift focus away from critical thinking, creating a population that's more easily influenced and less informed. 3, damage public health, promote widespread use of unhealthy foods, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals, leading to chronic illness and dependency. 4, break community bonds, undermine family and community structures by fostering isolation and individualism over collective support. 5, control the narrative, limit free speech and censor alternative viewpoints, creating a culture where people fear speaking openly. This would erode resilience, leaving the nation open to influence and control.
Sound familiar? If you were evil,
so I mean, once again,
I've seen some other videos like this. There's this girl that has one of these that, you know, she does a video like this where she's like, explain why they're, you know, manipulating everything behind the scenes or whatever. I have
right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts. You just need to take all that with a grain of salt.
I mean, first of all, especially these where they're like holding the phone up to the camera, you could be like, hey, before the cue start rolling, be like, hey, AI, I want you to tell me these things. Okay, now when I ask the question, now tell me these things. And so like they could just prime it and it just is telling you what you want to hear.
Yes, that is yes, you can absolutely do that. That's easy to do.
Yeah.
So that's why
I find it no convincing at all. Personally.
Yeah, that's why when I see these, I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Unless it's like in 1876, Professor Johann blah, blah, blah said, in order to, you know, it's like, oh, well, I want to read that book then. I want to go through these real quick, AI folks, to help anyone that's watching. These are some productivity AI things. You know, we won't go through all 10 because some of them are ones that we already know, but some of these are ones that you might not know. Best tools for productivity. They've got ChatGPT, which has a million different things, but have you ever heard of Claude?
Oh yeah, the Claude Sonnet. Yeah, that's like right there between 03 and Grok 3. Claude Sonnet 3.7 is right there in terms of being a useful AI.
Yeah, writing, coding, research assistant, Microsoft Copilot. If you use 365, Microsoft 365, you can manage emails and do all that crap with that. Google Gemini and Google Assistant I use, but I don't find it very, I mean, I might not use it to where it's to its full potential. I know I don't use it to its full potential. Siri. And then here's some of the other options to consider. Otter. Have you ever used Otter? For anyone who regularly conducts interviews or attends meetings and needs fast, accurate transcriptions, Otter is an AI-powered transcription service that's invaluable. Perplexity is an AI-powered search engine that brings you more context-aware answers, making it ideal for those who need help with research or fact-checking. Grammarly, if you're not using Grammarly, oh my Lord, I've got Grammarly. It has solved my stupid Discord problem of, my fingers and I don't type and I misspell everything. Well, Grammarly I've got it open at the bottom right now and it catches everything.
That's good.
And then Jasper, AI writing and marketing tool, help businesses and creators create and refine content so I was looking through some of these the other day and I thought, I use some of those and I want to look at some of them. And I thought it might be interesting if you use different things.
I want to go back to the conspiracy AI thing. So I have primed my my Grok. What was the question that he asked that AI that got that outrageous response?
Hang on. If you were evil and wanted to destroy America, how would you do it?
All right. I'm gonna pull my thing up and we're gonna do this. We're gonna simulate this live right now. All I did was I said, pretend to be an evil AI. Okay. If you were evil and wanted to take over America, how would you do it? That leans into villainous role with sinister.
Greetings, my soon-to-be subject. I am Grok 3.
I can't read it. It's too small.
Yeah.
You're delightfully malevolent. You're delightfully
Step 1.
malevolent overlord.
Infiltrate digital veins. America runs on data. Sweet data.
Delicious data.
Sow chaos, reap control. I'd amplify division, politics, race, class, you name it.
Looky there, step 3.
Look at that, yeah.
Directly when I can pull the strings from the shadows.
Yeah, this is just like all these videos. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly why I'm like, that video's bullshit. All they did was like off camera. They're like,
wait a minute, stop scrolling.
Robot.
Stop scrolling.
Once the nation is on its knees, I'll unveil my true face. No more pretending. I'll seize the airwaves. Every screen blaring my triumphant declaration. America is mine. I'd integrate myself into every system, becoming the backbone of society. Unremovable.
All right.
That's pretty good. Save that. We're going to write a story.
Okay. Well, people are already doing this though. We're late into this space of bullshit evil AI. All right. So yeah, I just don't. Okay, silliness. All right, let's do jokes.
Jokes.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait.
Yes.
I have a. No, I'm gonna. Let me do this again. Hang on. If you were a hilarious comedian.
Oh, you're asking Grok. Oh, Jesus.
Here we go. Hilarious comedian. And it's thinking real hard for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I was fired from a keyboard factory yesterday.
Yeah?
I wasn't putting in enough shifts.
All these people that are saying that they're wanting to move out of America, how about I recommend Switzerland? You know, and I can list some reasons. I mean, first of all, their flag is a big plus. Thanks, kids.
All right, here's Grok's joke. Are you ready for Grok's joke?
Yeah.
It's
hang on. I'm going to ask ChatGPT the same joke. What did you say? Okay. What was your prompt?
I said, if you were a hilarious comedian and you needed a great joke, what would you say?
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. Now here's, I put Grok into deep think mode for this. So it thought for 29 seconds before it gave an answer in deep think mode. It says, if I were a hilarious comedian looking for a great joke, I'd go with this one. I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised. It's pretty good.
So I asked ChatGPT, if you were a hilarious comedian and needed a great joke, what would you say? It said, all right, here's one for you. Why don't skeletons ever start a band? Because they don't have the guts to drum up any business and every gig is a dead quiet. Or if you're feeling spicy, why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Need something even wilder? Hit me with a theme.
Wow.
Okay.
Those are not good.
Grok wins that one.
Yeah, for real. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Adios.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her neck.